Hi guys, it's me Lewis, and today I'm here to give my thoughts and opinions on a particular fighting game crossover that might be returning after all these years, and that's none other than Capcom versus SNK 3. Now, of course, obviously, to those who have obviously watched Evo like I have, watched a few fighting tournaments, watched some shit get announced, and surprisingly, SNK has been on a roll this year. Not just with fan favorite characters returning for KOF 15. But also the fact that they're also greenlisted Garrow Mark of the Wolves 2 / Fatal Fury 5 or 6, which I do apologise. I haven't played the Fatal Fury series in quite a long time. I completely forgot how many Fatal Fury games there are. But it didn't stop there. Oda himself, the guy over at SNK, even stated that he wanted Capcom versus SNK 3 to become a reality in the near future, and there's actually some proof to that as well, because there's some images online which I will put in the description down below on the Event Hub's link if you guys want to go and check it out. There's actually two posters. One showing off obviously Rugal and Shermie going against Luke and Minot, and the other showing off Ryu and Cammy going against Ryo and Isla, or Isla, how you pronounce that character's name. I do apologize about that as well. And this right here kind of like blew my mind. Like oh shit, SNK hasn't forgotten about that crossover. Do apologize. Whoops. But in all honesty, though, even the two new guys who took over Capcom's fighting game division, even kind of like it stated its acknowledgement as well. And this is kind of becoming like a big thing here, because going back to the history of Capcom versus SNK 1 and 2, which by the way, the second game is fucking awesome. You should play that shit, honestly. Like if you can emulate that shit, or get yourself like a Dreamcast, which is going to be kind of expensive to get these days, but if you can, please play Capcom vs SNK 2. It is fun as hell to play. It's really good. But that aside, the history behind this particular crossover series, which of course obviously was a smash hit, along with the latest I guess you could say SNK Capcom crossover, was of course SNK versus Capcom Chaos back in 2003. And afterwards, both companies just kind of like fell apart in their relationship. Like we never saw Capcom versus SNK 3 ever again, which it has been confirmed that game was supposed to come out way before SNK's bankruptcy. And unfortunately, since obviously the falling out happened, it just got canned just like that. And this is obviously like during the time when I believe when Yoshi Oriono stepped in and obviously brought Street Fighter 4, which did obviously revive the fighting game community back into the forefront. But in all honesty, after he resigned from his position, the two new guys, which I do apologize. Trust me, I've tried to pronounce their names. I kept on butchering it, so you just kind of like stick with two new guys for now. Okay, just want to point that out right now. But yeah, the two new guys over at Capcom, who have obviously confirmed and yet proved that they are diehard fans of Capcom's long library of fighting games, not just from Street Fighter, of course, have been listening to the fans. They're trying to give the fans what they want to make sure obviously their fighting game department stays alive. And of course, obviously with Street Fighter 6 on the horizon, that's going to be quite an interesting thing right there to actually see where that goes. Just considering my beef with Capcom over the years has been obviously in hot water. I get that, but things might be looking up this time, hopefully, but I'm still going to remain on the fence. But back to the topic at hand. So with Capcom versus SNK 3 basically being acknowledged and might possibly become a reality. Like me personally, the way I want to see this work is that I want to see SNK basically developing the entire game altogether, because they've already stated it in this article, like they want to do it. They're ready to fucking go. They want to do it. Hell, even some developers over at Capcom want this to happen. The only problem is that the marketing team over at said Capcom is kind of stubborn per se. They're not easy to convince. So I mean, SNK's got one hell of a challenge on their plate to try and get them to greenlight this particular project in the near future, which hopefully it does happen. But I'm picturing it right now where we're seeing not just characters from Street Fighter and obviously King of Fighters, but also characters from Power Stone, Cyberbots, Darkstalkers, World Heroes, Galaxy Fight, and possibly Breakers if SNK can bring the rights back to that IP in the palm of their hands. But it's an absolute treat to see this, because like SNK it literally shows that company alone actually gives a shit. They show that they actually care, that like they're here to obviously give the fans what they want and make money at the same time. That's how business should be, and both sides win altogether, because they've done extremely well with KOF 14, despite obviously its graphical appearance. The Samurai Showdown reboot, which is just absolutely fucking beautiful. Absolutely love that game to death. I've got all the season passes, by the way, so I'm all sorted out with that shit. I'm all ready to go with that. But of course the unexpected part of Fatal Fury / Garrow being announced it just makes you go, holy shit! Like we like never thought we would see the light of day of those particular games come back ever again. Like, but it's actually happening. Like it's great, and with SNK 3 being thought about by the horse's mouth and obviously the elephant in the room, it's amazing. It's absolutely fucking amazing to see that they haven't forgotten about the series. Like it shows that they love Capcom vs SNK. It's overall possibly by far one of the most enjoyable, well, to be honest with you, the only enjoyable Capcom vs SNK crossover ever. And if I'm honest, people like me have been asking for a proper Capcom crossover for years. Yeah, sure, you can argue obviously Marvel versus Capcom Infinity, which of course that heavily backfired obviously when Oriono was still in charge on that shit, and of course obviously Disney being a bunch of dickheads on that part as well. But things are starting to change up, and I really do hope in the near future we actually do see this crossover happen in the near future. And hell, if they want to go above and beyond with the groove systems, add some new groove features in there, so you can either sacrifice a meter to obviously to increase your damage, or activate a meter to try and gain like I would say like 15% of your health back, stuff like that. Like that could actually make the game a lot more interesting, and it can actually show what the developers could do with those types of variations. But in all honesty though, one of the things that did catch my eye though before I end this video is that Oda himself even stated in this article, saying that if Capcom said yes to this idea, what Street Fighter characters do you want to see in a 3-member team of KOF 15? And of course, from my biased opinion, I went with obviously Ryu, the poster boy, Cammy, and Dudley. So basically, one guy from Japan, 2 individuals from Britain. Why? Because obviously I'm British too. So there you are. That's the only reason why. Because that's one of the reasons why I love playing as both Cammy and Dudley. Not just because how they fight, but obviously because they're from the same regions and kind of like representing my nation. So they are. That's kind of how it goes down. I mean, some people are like that, some people are not. So it is what it is. But That's all I have time for, guys. So don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and tell me what are your thoughts on this interesting announcement of this particular news on Capcom versus SNK 3, and what characters do you want to see make it into the roster, and what features would you see thrown in there as well. Okay, guys, peace out.